That was too good.
Need some killer cans, too.
Oh, killer cans! Oh, man. I have a friend that I used to play with. He still calls them killer cans all the time.
It's just a funnier name.
I want to save that. I'm going to watch that later and laugh. Alright, so it's going to be Toilailee's map pick coming up here next. Oh, man. Dreads and devs, that's all that I needed to be happy there. That plasma dev was so awesome, and then 2 dreadnoughts, and then more Def Dreads just stomping around all game.
So Toilailee went random and he got the Tech Marine, and didn't Tex also went random and got the Tech Marine too?
Yes, yes.
Both against HolyHammer. Very interesting.
Very curious.
I think not.
Well, no. What the last tournament HolyHammer won? Didn't he win with the Tech Marine?
Yeah, there was definitely a time when he was playing the Tech Marine. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think he won against Accra.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because everyone was saying Lictor Nids would just smash Tech Marine.
Yeah, because it was everybody would always just say that Tyranids have a huge advantage over Space Marines. Luckily, I don't play Space Marines anymore, so I don't even have to deal with that question.
Ooh, there's a map we haven't seen yet.
And I wonder if Toilailee gonna stay random. Maybe he's just being nice to HolyHammer. Toilailee is a relatively nice guy.
Yeah, definitely one of the more affable high-end players.
Very, very level-headed too.
Hey, Shaw, no one asked you.
Oh, was there some kind of comment? I'm actually not in the Elite Mod chat at the moment.
It's on the channels chat. I've got it next to my game screen. He said, "Hey, Rupee, that's how TM is supposed to play." No one asked you, Shaw. All right, we're ready to go.
Ooh, already.
All right. So Hammer has to take this one. It's possible. I believe Juwan just messaged me and said this will technically count as an exhibition either way. But, I mean, Hammer's probably going to take it anyways if he keeps that kind of play up. And let's see what Toilailee gets.
What did Toilailee get?
An Orc Mirror.
Orc Mirror.
Green
nice.
on green. Sneaky versus Smashy here on Quest Heresy. And everybody in chat keeps rooting for Toilailee to get IG.
It would be pretty awesome if he random the Lord General.
I mean, I know Hammer is kind of like the pariah of the DoW2 world these days, but no one can argue that he's a top-notch player, despite the kind of questionable sportsmanship he's had in the past.
And the hero's coming right at each other. Stun bomb goes down. Does actually get the war boss. I think the war boss is going to win this fight anyway. Once he gets unstunned, like, not enough bullets are coming out of the Commando's Twinling shooter, even though his is better than the war boss. Or maybe it just shoots it more accurately since he holds it with 2 hands instead of 1.
That's probably true. I mean, the war boss is a big fella, but, you know, you got to have that proper sidearm.
He's got quite a sidearm.
Alright, so twin builds, the only difference here is the heroes, and right now the war boss is just not really getting utilized well. Kind of running around, just soaking up damage, finally having to fall back, and now that's going to give Toilailee a pretty solid advantage here in this next engagement.
Yeah, getting kited seems to be quite an issue for the war boss, for races that can do it effectively. We've been seeing that a bit, and I guess that's part of why we're seeing both HolyHammer and Steve Bud earlier actually using him a lot as just a capping unit. And then when he's actually in a different spot, to the extent that he can be used, he can actually be in a good position for flanking.
Commando Knob trying to beat shooters over the head with his big old gun there, but realizing the war boss is there, just having to fall back. So and Luda's coming on the field for Toilailee.
Yeah, very fast Luda squad, and on the other HolyHammer, on the other hand, went for those big shooters immediately. Toilailee doesn't have those big shooters yet, not even upgraded, and that's part of why he's able to get this Luda Squad out very quickly. That Luda Squad is his first power purchase.
Warboss getting pushed off again, but there's a pair of big shooters against a pair of unupgraded shooters, and that's not going to end well for
So
those.
little shooters are actually forcing melee. This is the best fight ever.
There's a couple of them that were still shooting there in melee, though.
He could come very close to losing one of his shooter boy squads.
That could have been a bad choice. 12 HP down to 3, 2, 1, and down it goes.
Force melee, took the initiative to force melee and ended up losing because of it.
He's not oh, it looked like he was about to repurchase that right back, but then had a second thought there and deciding, hey, let's give some Storm Boys a shot. Storm Boy's been very active this tournament. I mean, we've been seeing pretty much the only Orc game we saw without Storm Boys so far was the one we just watched, and that one was pretty wacky in the first place.
That was a crazy game, and this one, fortunately, it looks like Toilailee is getting off to the weaker start here, although before, obviously, in the last game, HolyHammer had the slower start, and then he came back quite miraculously.
Commando Snob not quite being sneaky enough. Holy saw that grenade coming a mile away, and now he's just gonna kite around. In the meantime, I mean, you know, look at the map though. It's a 3-0 cap for Hammer. Toilailee is kind of just hanging out in the center, which is good. I mean, you know, this is definitely the kind of map where Ludas can be super effective. You know, you've got this huge pile of resources here in the center of the map. But he's got to be aware of those. Wait, is there two squads? Okay, there's Storm Boys on both sides. I thought that was two squads of Storm Boys for Hammer.
So I like that combination of use the aiming what's that to pin the shooter boys, the Storm Boys in place, and then he disrupted them with the War Boss, but they tried to go for the white shooter boys. Didn't get it though. Maybe if they had Bomber Boys, but it's not tier 2 yet.
Ooh, nice stun grenade, saving those those sluggers rather, from tearing up those Storm Boys. Or no, those are Storm Boys on Storm Boys. Every squad except the one I said is the one that it is.
Toilailee seriously about something. I don't know what. It seemed like that actually worked out better for him. Stunning like 3 different units.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly he's calling out there, but maybe he's probably disappointed that the Storms didn't finish off that shooter squad with 6 HP. He jumped in and then I don't think he targeted them because they just walked right over to the sluggers or the other squad. That's all I can figure. Because other than that, that was a pretty solid engagement for him. 350 to 494 right now, though, and ooh, going straight for just hide the boys. Gonna keep. That's a nice use of that, actually. Nice little defensive use of hide the boys there. Shooters, however, with their knobs are gonna pincer those 2 slugger boys between a pretty nasty crossfire, and they have to get out of there. Warboss might pick off another member or 2. Ooh, man, even
2 from 1 strike. Luda's setting up, but I think HolyHammer, he's got units coming in from different directions. Shooter Boy is actually charging forward. They will get
right into a stun bomb, though.
And that actually also scares off the Slugger Boys from approaching, but now they will get in. Storm Boys also jumping in. We'll probably just get in behind the Sluggers. But the Sluggers do have use your choppas.
They've got hard boys on.
Hard boys. They get out of there. Just too many red units. Well, red if you're viewing it from my perspective, maybe blue if you are on Toilailee's team. And, but Toilailee. Yeah. Lost my train of thought.
Storm's jumping in again, putting a lot of pressure on those Ludas, but perfect timing with the aiming. What's that? Shooter Boys ready to give their poor Ludas a hand. Not too jealous that they have a bigger gun. Willing to support them anyways.
Now, one of the great things about an Orc mirror is that you're guaranteed to see a ton of things dying. We've already seen a lot of things coming very close. And that has to do with the combination of the Orcs being, basically, most of the army being glass cannons, doing a lot of damage, but also being very squishy. So
I love that melee that the Commando Knob does. If you watch him closely, he actually puts the gun up to the bad guy and pulls the trigger.
I think the Slugger Boys even do that too, especially when they're like bashing generators. Beat melee and they'll shoot their sluggers, and the slugger actually refers to the Orc gun, the pistol, rather than their knives, which are actually the choppas.
Good to know. I always like actually learning a thing or two about the fluff, so the 40K fans don't make fun of me too much.
And I hope I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Unfortunately, I'm not the most knowledgeable fluff person. I'm going to try to work on that a bit.
Oh my gosh, there's just constant rackus of that big shooter sound. Oh, they're probably one of the loudest things in the games, those big shooters, and that's just all we're going to be hearing for the next 20 minutes.
Now, I'd say HolyHammer's actually kind of dominating this game. Still has 494 VPs. Look at the map control. He's got pretty much everything except for the side victory point, the natural power, and the natural requisition.
Yeah, I think the Orc Mirror was probably the worst possible situation. I know Toilailee has been playing lots of different races, but going against Hammer with orcs of his own is just not working out.
The war boss of Dawn of War 2. Still apparently, still proving himself to be the war boss of Dawn of War 2. And, I mean, I don't know, I'm not that knowledgeable about this particular matchup, but with the Orc Globals, if HolyHammer uses the Orc Globals on his melee units, his melee units will have definitely an advantage, at least for that engagement, against Toilailee's. Toilailee losing his command hub and concedes. So 2-0 for Hammer, assuming that counts, whether it's an exhibition or the actual game.
Easy enough for Hammer to take that one, it seems.
Yeah,
he had the Death Dread out once again, and yeah, the first game was, wow.
That was amazing. That's one of the best games we've had all tournament, and we've had a lot of good games. It certainly would be interesting to see, actually, them just go main on main and see how that works out right now.
But we'll have to see. I think Steve Budd and Grunk at least have to be nearing the end of their series.
Oh, they're playing right now?
They are, and the winner of that will have their work cut out for them and have to bring down HolyHammer to take the first place position.
What's up?
Just the chat.
Oh, man. Ooh.
Yeah, well, Codex will have you hop in here in just a moment again.
And, I mean, HolyHammer, again, everything with HolyHammer is an exaggeration. Toilailee really has been proving himself with just about every other race in this game lately.